Dear students, Sairam to you all. Welcome you all to this session under market equilibrium. Today we are going to discuss determination of wage in labor market. Here you can see in this photo some workers, they are contributing their labor hours in the construction of a building. Here for their labor hours they have to be paid. The payment for the factors of production, which is labor, is called as wage. That is, the wage is given as a reward or remuneration for the labor force for their labor hours. How to determine the wage rate in labor market? Here, under theory of wage determination, we are going to consider that competitive market. That is, we are studying now competitive market structure under perfect competition. Therefore, we are going to determine wage under the perfect competitive market structure using the demand supply analysis. We all have seen before in our previous lesson that we also in the goods and services market we used demand and supply analysis to determine the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity. In the same way, here in the labor market, under perfect competitive structure, we are going to use demand and supply analysis in labor market. Here, the basic difference between the labor market and the goods and services market. Here you can see the difference. The market for goods, the suppliers are firms. But in the labor market, suppliers are households. Households have the different labor category. That means maybe a skilled labor category or unskilled labor category or physical labor, mental labor. Different labor categories are there. Based on the labor category, the wage will be determined. And demand for goods comes from household because households want the finished goods and services from the firms. Firms supply and households demand. But here the demand for labor comes from firms. Supply of labor comes from households. These are the major differences between goods markets and labor market. And determination of wage rate. Here there is a diagrammatic representation of wage determination and wage rate is explained. Here along the y-axis we are measuring labor in hours. When we say labor, it denotes hours of work provided by laborers. Therefore, labor is measured in hours and the wage along the y-axis. Here you can see the demand for labor downward curve and supply of labor upward sloping curve. When the demand curve and the supply curve intersect each other, that point is called as equilibrium point. And here at this equilibrium point, what is determined is wage is determined. Equilibrium wage or the wage rate is determined, and this is the equilibrium hours, labor hours. This is the equilibrium wage. Therefore, you know how to determine wage rate with the help of diagram. This question always being asked in your examination. Describe the determination of wage rate. Then you have to draw this diagram and the demand for labor, supply of labor, intersection point, and the corresponding wage to the equilibrium point is called as the wage rate in the labor market and the corresponding labor hours. And also you have to define the wage rate is determined at the intersection of demand and supply curves of labor. This is the answer. You have to with that diagram, and this answer you have to define the wage rate, how it is derived at the intersection of the demand and supply of labor. And where the demand for labor at the equilibrium, you know, the demand for labor and the supply of labor is in balance. That is what we call it as equilibrium of labor market. And the demand for labor under perfect competitive market by a profit maximizing firm. You know, we have already seen that the objective of a firm is profit maximization. In that case, how to they will employ the labor in such a way in order to maximize their profit. Profit maximizing firm employs labor up to this point. What is the point? Wage rate should be equal to marginal revenue product of labor. We will study into detail. And wage rate, what is wage rate? The extra cost Extra cost hiring one more unit of labor is called as wage rate. Extra cost hiring for one more unit of labor is called as wage rate. I hope you understood. The wage rate mean per labor. That means how much wage. That is what wage rate is. For additional one extra, the additional labor to hire one more additional labor, how much extra cost is incurred. It is called as wage rate. It is denoted by W. Now we will see marginal product of labor (MPL). That is, we have discussed this concept marginal product under the production and cost, and the marginal revenue (MR). And now we will see the marginal product of labor. What is marginal? Marginal means additional, additional output, extra output. Marginal product, extra output produced one more unit of labor, that is additional labor, is called as marginal product of labor (MPL). But is one by one more unit of additional labor, how much extra output is produced is called as marginal product of labor. We have very much in detail discussed all these things under production section. And now, what is marginal revenue? By selling, marginal mean additional. Additional mean additional output. Revenue is always earned by selling the outputs. Therefore, extra unit of output or additional earning by selling extra unit of output, whatever the additional earning obtained by the firm is called as marginal revenue. Therefore, marginal revenue in the sense by selling an additional output, how much additional income or revenue or earned is called as marginal revenue. And marginal revenue product of labor. Marginal revenue product. You can see the two components are here in this term itself. MR also is there, MPL also is there, marginal revenue also is there, marginal product of labor also is there. What is that? Marginal revenue product of labor. For extra unit of labor, that is marginal means additional labor, how much additional benefit is derived is indicated by MRPL is equal to marginal revenue times marginal product. Marginal revenue times means multiplication. Multiplying marginal revenue by marginal product of labor, you will derive MRPL. That is marginal revenue product of labor. You can easily remember MRPL because this term itself consists of MR and MPL. That means you can write MR into MPL. That means by using extra unit of labor, how much additional benefit earned, that is equal to marginal revenue to MPL. We are studying under perfect competitive structure. Therefore, marginal revenue, we know under perfect competitive firm, marginal revenue is exactly equal to price. You recall your previous lesson where we have shown the price and quantity, the horizontal line to the parallel to x-axis, that is the price line. Also we have indicated there, price line is exactly equal to marginal revenue. Therefore, instead of marginal revenue, we can substitute price. When we substitute price instead of marginal revenue, that is called as value marginal product of labor. That is what it is shown here. We know MRPL is equal to MR into MPL. Now, we know this MR under perfect competitive market structure is nothing but price. Therefore, instead of MR, you put price. If you substitute MR with price, what you will get? Price into MPL. Price, when you multiply the product units, marginal product with the price, what you will get? The value of the product. That is what it is called, value marginal product of labor. Value marginal product of labor. Hence, marginal revenue product of labor in this case is equal to the value of marginal product of labor, that is VMPL, value of marginal product of labor. It is instead of MR, we substitute price. When you multiply any item, any value, any output units by the price, you will get the value of that output. That is what it is called, value marginal product of labor. I hope you understood. And now, thus while hiring labor, the firm employs labor up to the point where we have studied at least the wage rate just exactly equal to marginal revenue of product of labor. We know what is marginal revenue product of labor. By in employing one more extra unit of labor, how much additional benefit is earned. Therefore, W at least wage rate should be equal to the additional benefit earned by employing one more labor. Therefore, MRPL we have defined as MR into MPL. Also, MRPL can be converted into value marginal product by substituting MR into price, because we have studied that we have proved under theory of form how to prove MR is equal to P. Please do recall your the previous lesson. Always under perfect competitive market, MR is equal to price. Therefore, in place of MR, you substitute price, and price into MPL will give you value, because when you multiply any product amount of product by price, you will get the value of the product. As long as value marginal product is greater than wage rate, as long as VML value marginal product is greater than wage rate. Now we can see W is equal to MRPL. MRPL is equal to MR into MPL. Therefore, value marginal product is equal to price into MPL. Therefore, we can say W also is equal to value, wage rate also is equal to value marginal product. Therefore, as long as the VM value marginal product of labor is greater than wage rate, the firm will earn more benefit. The value of the product produced by hiring one more labor is greater than the wage rate paid for the labor, then the firm will earn profit by hiring one more unit of labor. You know what is wage rate? The wage rate is the cost incurred to hire one more unit of labor. Then, as long as W, the value marginal product is greater than this wage rate, the firm earn more profit, because the price of the product is greater than the wage rate. Price won't change. Price is constant in the marginal product in the perfect competition, but price will be constant in the under perfect competition. But the multiplication of price into marginal product of labor, that is VMPL value marginal product of labor, is greater than wage rate, then that means you are producing, using that labor, you are producing more product. That's what the value marginal product is, more than the wage rate. In that case, the firm will earn product. That is, the efficiency of labor productivity is more. What we say here, value of marginal product is greater than wage rate. In this case, what we refer it as is labor productivity. Each labor, additional labor, contributes to the production is more and more, because in the perfect competitive market, price is constant. Therefore, if you want to increase value marginal product, you can't increase price, because perfect market competition price line is horizontal. Only you can increase marginal product of labor. As long as marginal product of labor for each labor is more and more, then VMPL will be more. When the productivity of the labor more, greater than the wage rate, then the firm will earn more profitable labor. Then, if any level of labor VMPL is less than wage rate, what will happen if VMPL is less than wage rate? Now we have seen in previously the more than wage rate. The firm can increase the profit, reducing the unit of labor employed. Why? We will see that. In this case, when VMPL is less than wage rate, that we can write it is, for example, VMPL is less than wage rate. In this condition, what will happen? Profit will be in loss. But if you want to increase the profit, what you have to do? You have to increase the value marginal product. Why? Increase the marginal product. Why it is that? Price is constant. This is constant. You can't change. This is constant. It's all because why it is constant? In this where it is in under perfect market competition, price is constant. Therefore, if you want to increase value BMPL, if you want to increase this one, and you have to increase value marginal product of labor. Only by increasing marginal product of labor, you can increase the value marginal product of labor. How to increase MPL? We have studied in our third chapter. What is that? Law of diminishing marginal product. Law of diminishing marginal product, or under law of variable proportion, we have studied that when you increase more and more of labor, product will go on decreasing. But when you reduce the number of unit of labor, product will go on increasing. That is what it is explained here. When the VMPL is less than W, the firm can increase the profit by reducing the unit of labor. When you increase number of labor, then you can increase the marginal product. Because when you marginal product, with the increase in labor, marginal product go on decreasing. But with the less number of labor, product will be more. Therefore, if you want to increase VMPL, value margin of productive labor, you have to increase the margin of productive labor. No way to increase price because price is constant under perfect market competition. Therefore, only way to increase value margin of productive labor by increasing marginal productive labor. To increase the marginal productive labor, only way is reducing the unit of labor employed. When you reduce the unit of labor employed, each additional unit of labor will contribute more and more product and you will get more value of product. This is called law of diminishing marginal product. We have seen it under law of variable proportion. That is for a perfect competitive market. What is that? Here we can say here perfect competitive market price is constant because it's a perfect competition and VML can be increased by reducing the units of labor. If you want to increase, you because and thereby when you reduce the labor, what will happen? Increasing MPL. When you increase the MPL according to law of diminishing marginal product, where we studied law of diminishing marginal product under law of variable proportion, under production and cost. Therefore, law of diminishing marginal product says when you increase more and more of labor, marginal product is going on decreasing. But that is mean when labor is crowded, more and more labor, because we know one this labor is variable input, other land will be fixed input. The fixed input will be fixed, labor input will be going on varying, we will be increasing. At what particular level, when you increase more and more labor, land become insufficient to work. Therefore, land is get crowded. When the land get crowded, MPL decrease. That is what. If you want to increase the labor, please recall your production chapter. When you reduce the units of labor, what will happen? With the less labor, more product will be contributed, produced. That means each additional labor contributing more and more additional product. Therefore, VML can be only increased by reducing units of labor and thereby increasing marginal product according to law of variable proportion, law of variable proportion, or we can say law of diminishing marginal product. And these are the assignment based on your question bank. And also I want to highlight the value we learn from this topic. In terms of economics, labor refers to hours of work provided by the people who are involved in a particular type of work, maybe skilled labor, unskilled labor, physical, mental, any labor. Therefore, related to this there's a work, the hours of work they render or provide to the particular work. There is no difference between work and worship. Work is worship. How much you dedicatedly work, when you dedicate that work to God and welfare of others, it becomes worship. All your actions should be dedicated to the divine principle, whatever the religion, whatever may be the faith, the divine principle is permanent. We have to dedicate all our actions to the divine. Thereby, work will be transformed into worship. When work will be transformed into worship, as long as we dedicate our work with the pure intention to the divine. That is what is called Sarva Karma Bhagavat Pridhyartham. Thereby, work will be transformed into worship. The divine is omnipresent and is watching every one of us, one of our actions, wherever you may be. The quotation from Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Therefore, even as a students, we shouldn't waste our time. We should study with a dedicated manner because whatever the God we pray for, the God is always watching our actions. And wherever we are, we have to please God. Thank you. Sai Ram to you all.